Cool. So as you guys know, we left IM Academy. Jacob, do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, real quick. Do you want to start that off? I'm gonna just make sure everything's up and running.
For sure. So Jacob and I originally joined IM Academy back in, what was it, February?
Yeah. I joined back in December, but yeah, you joined in about
February. Yeah. So we were both really new to like the whole Forex trading world. I was brand new to it. I got introduced to HFX, which is like the gambling green bubbles, and like we were both kind of sold something that we thought would work, and to be honest, it did it. I mean, for us, it did. Jacob, you made about $17,000 off of it. Myself, I lost some money at first, made it all back, made some pretty good profits. But for other people, it was just not working out. And for whatever reason, maybe it just was the fact that they weren't plugged in, or it just, we just didn't really like the whole idea with the multi-level marketing. The fact that you had to go find someone to, have a free subscription or whatever. And it's actually really expensive considering that you can find probably 70% of the information on YouTube. And the other stuff is just software that like pretty much doesn't even work. And to be honest, HFX is not it. Trading, HFX is not it, bro. Like, it's just almost impossible to put a timer on a trade in the riskiest market in the world and say it's going to go up in this time. That's why these brokers are making so much money, is because it's literally not possible to be consistent with it unless you have some set strategy that you're just the discipline that it takes to like make money on HFX without over leveraging and getting lucky it's just so incredibly hard for like a new person who's introduced to trading. Okay. And then another thing with it is the style of trading that IM Academy teaches is mostly retail concepts. It's taught based off of like support and resistance, trend lines, break and retest. And that stuff, it does not work. Maybe 50% of the time it'll work. But if you really want to learn the market, which it took me this long to figure out, after I learned everything about that stuff, I learned about xylophones, stupid patterns, all this dumb shit that in reality was basically just being manipulated. That's all. Like that, the market is controlled by larger institutions, people with billions of dollars. That's how the market works. It's not like IM Academy makes it seem like the market is not out to get us. It's us versus them. That's how the market has always been. That's how it will always be. That stuff used to work, but now it doesn't. Now, things have changed. So this new style of trading that I've picked up is how professional people trade, and they keep it low key. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to find information about this stuff in depth because, why would they give you the true sauce? They're making so much money off this. It's not even funny. Like, it is not even funny how much money you can make off of the technical analysis that I'm about to be teaching with Jacob and Carter's fundamentals and how they trade like stocks. Like, it's like, bro, this combination that we got going on here has made more money.
It's a three-headed monster.
It's the three-headed monster, bro. Like, literally, like, you're not being gypped out of shit. You're getting every single thing that you can possibly ask for, all your questions answered. There's no, hey, you got to go find two people or you're out of this shit. Sorry, buddy. Like, no, bro. It's literally strictly trading. And the way I'm teaching trading, you don't need a freaking indicator. You don't. You can literally look at a naked chart and based off of human psychology, off of other people's decisions, that's how you're making your trade. You're following footprints of people with billions of dollars who can actually manipulate and control the market. And I'm going to show you guys some examples today of how that works. And it's literally fascinating. It's, but yeah, so I'm actually going to go ahead and share my screen, if that's cool with you, Jacob.
I was honestly thinking that we go through the Discord first. If that's cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You want to touch up on IM Academy too a little bit?
Yeah. Honestly, I will.
It's kind of your idea. Yes. I don't know if I want to turn my camera on, bro.
Okay. So honestly, yeah. So we were both in the academy, just like a lot of if not everybody else in here. And you know, I mean, honestly, it got to a point where we kind of just got a little bit fed up. You know, like we both fell in love with trading, you know, and the academy opened our eyes to a completely different side of trading. For me, Forex market's just not my game. It's perfectly fine. But for Adam, I mean, without the academy, he never learns how much he loves trading in the foreign exchange market, you know. Completely opened up my mind in that way. I feel like I did grow a lot as a person. I had to deal with a lot of adversity that me as a 20-year-old college student has never had to deal with. I had to go through a lot of things. I grew the hell up. I grew the hell up inside the academy in a short amount of time. And I do think I'm very, very thankful for that. But what I'm not thankful for, what I'm not grateful for, is the fact that I grew up on other people's time. You know, like I grew up because I was in the background without even really noticing it, kind of telling other people, hey, give me all your money. I just wasn't a big fan of that. And I'm still not. So that's why everything that we do is, you know, right now it's free. And if it does ever cost anything, bro, it's going to be so cheap. It's going to be cheap as hell, because there's no way in hell that you should have to give up your monthly earnings to pay for how you get your monthly earnings, you know? There's no way that you should be able to make a solid percentage, but you're not able to actually see that. You're actually losing money because you're paying so much on the back end to the people who actually give you the sauce. So without further ado, I am going to jump into our Discord. That's the wrong tab. I actually need to share my screen for you, Zoom folks.
And also, the Discord is not finished at all. I still have like over 50 videos to make. And yeah, it's going to be lit. Like, there's going to be non-stop stuff for you guys to look at.
So right here we just have our welcome page, and really all this is just how many people have joined. The amount of members in this Discord already is just absolutely nuts. I'll move this over. How many have we got? We got 47, I think 48 including me. That is absolutely crazy, as for how we just started this up and how not polished it is. And then here is our trade talk, and all this really is just whenever you guys have a question just about the overall market, put it in here. If you guys have just ideas for how we can make this better, put it in here. You know, if you guys just want to talk about the damn Phoenix Suns game, you just put it in here. You know, you put whatever you want to in here. It's about trading and it's about talking. You know, I mean, yeah, like put in your trade ideas, but like just put anything in here. So then we'll go to Adams, and Adam, you can kind of just explain your stuff. I'll just click through them. You're muted, big fella.
Yeah, so this page, obviously it's not edited at all. I just have the subtitles and stuff. But it's basically going to be it's going to tell you about how to take the course, how to approach the market. For your, like, obviously for a starter, it's going to give you the basics. So what brokers I suggest, how to set up a MetaTrader account. It's going to have, you know, how to use TradingView, some of the tools. And then it's just going to have the basic principles and concepts of, like, smart money, aka institutional order flow. And then the next one is just going to be my trade ideas. So there's going to be for now, it's going to be free. But I'm going to be sending out my trade ideas for you guys to copy and paste and take. And in the future, I plan on making that paid, obviously, because the thing about this shit is it took me a while to believe, but, like, it makes money. Like, there's no bullshit here. This is, like, I can hop on my computer, look for setups, and make $100 a day if I really wanted to, risking, like, $3 to $5 a trade. It's absurd. It's no joke. This shit works. This is no support and resistance trend line, xylophone pattern. No, bro. This is how professional traders trade. Like, people that get funded millions of dollars by companies to flip their money. This is how they trade. This is all technical analysis, by the way. So you can use this in the stock market. You can use this on any single market you want. You can go to Bitcoin and look for this. Everything on here can be applicable to any sort of market. That's why it's so valuable. And then the Forex chat is just going to be, obviously, people talking about Forex. There's not really much there. Public trade ideas. I'm going to let you guys send out your ideas. So if you guys see, like, a markup, you want to screenshot it, mark up your charts. You guys will learn how to mark up charts and stuff too. Then you'll send it in here, and everyone's going to be making money together and calling out trades, because if 50 eyes are watching the market who know how to trade institutional order flow, we're all going to get paid. That's why this is so powerful, is because it's not only just me, Jacob, and Carter. It's all of you guys. Like, this stuff is, you can achieve the same amount of knowledge that we have and then also help people out in here, and I can make money off you guys too because of your ideas. So that's why that's there, to be honest. And then the next one is the first part of the course. There's probably going to be different subsections within this about structure and order flow, how to break down the market, how to find a bias. So, like, if you come up to a chart, what are you looking for first? What's the first thing that you're going to look for in order to break down this market and be like, you know what? I think this market's going to go up. I think this market's going to go down. I'm going to stay out of this market. Why? All of that's going to be answered in this. Next one is Smart Money Concepts 101. It's going to have supply and demand zones. It's going to have mitigation. It's going to have why these manipulations and liquidations happen. It's going to have where the liquidity lies. It's going to have where the orders are. It's going to have what type of manipulations can occur, all that good stuff. This is going to be the really fat section. And then the last one, confirming entries with Wyckoff. Basically, Richard Wyckoff was a really good trader back in the day, and he discovered accumulation and distribution. So basically, the market is just constantly accumulating to distribute, to accumulate to distribute. Same thing as overbought, oversold, but it happens everywhere. And this is basically just going to be, so if I have a point of interest that I found from a supply and demand, and I know it's coming down to that, and it enters that point of interest, that zone area that I want to look for, and I want to confirm that this part is going to hold, I can confirm my entry with a Wyckoff schematic, or I can use double supply blocks. I can use just anything to confirm, breaks of structure. That's all going to be in this section. Just how to confirm the entry and how to get in, how to actually enter the trade once you get to your point of interest. And then I'll probably add more eventually. But for now, that's what I have.
Yeah, and then I'll go over Carter's. So Carter's basically, so when Carter starts posting his videos on YouTube, or just if he has any videos, he's going to put them in here. These are all of his swing trade ideas. Look at how many there are. Like, and we just started on the 14th. It's the 22nd. Like, that's up 8% right there.
Bro, he's going stupid.
We're going, yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Um, then you got the community page. The community page is seriously, it's kind of just like the Forex talk page that Adam has. Um, Anything you guys have a question about for swing trading for Carter, um, you put it in here. If you guys have your own ideas, you put it in here. You know, anything to do with anything that is in Carter's wheelhouse, you will put in here, or cryptos even. So then his current holdings, he has put like all the stuff that he's currently in. Um, and his crypto callouts, he has a few of those as well. Got into Ethereum under 2,000. It's a pretty smooth move, no lie, for the long run. Even if it does dip down below there, who cares? It's gonna go way higher in the future. So then mine, we got my videos. When I start posting stuff, I'm gonna make sure they're all put in here. My community page. Here we go, Cam. You know, just kind of, honestly, I kind of talk in there a little bit too. I talk in all my damn things. But basically, it's any questions you have for me. Then my options callouts. Ugh, there's a lot, you know. As you can see, call it Smith & Wesson on the 12th, you know.
Tell them about how your account's doing.
Yeah, so I brought up my account from $500 to $2,300. Then I withdrew about $500 today, so it's sitting around $1,800 right now.
And that was just a little, dude. This dude's not just some joker, guys. This dude's making figures in the stock market. He literally just decided to mess around and throw in like $300, and he brought it up to 20. What was it?
$2,300.
$2,300, bro. So I'm just saying, bro. Like the stocks that this dude and Carter are both calling out.
Yeah, so we, you know, there's just all of the options that I've posted out. You know, like this one hit 150%, 140. This one hit 650. At this time, Smith & Wesson was only at 4%. Who would have known? You know, just I talk about them all too. I'm started actually to only I just call them out in here now, and I'll just talk about my current holdings. But I'll get to that. And here's just my long-term stuff. So, you know, first thing I put in was Peloton. If you can get it around 100, got to about 100 a couple days ago. It's at 117 right now. So if you did get in on those leaps, you'd be killing it right now, honestly. So yeah, I just talk about just things that I'm kind of long on. I'm long on Splunk. Just went up about 12% today. Put that out there on the 17th. You know, if you guys just like pay attention to like the things that like we just have in here, there's just a lot of gems that we're just putting around. My latest move is I'm going long on Ford. I actually have currently have some leaps on it, and it's currently up in the after hour market, so that's nice. So here's just current holdings is where I talk about a lot of different things, you know, like Smith & Wesson, back when it was up almost 300%. I just kind of talk about just like a lot of different things.
Really quick, Jake. Sam asked, I'm in the Discord, but my biggest problem is I don't know or understand the callouts that good, and I don't want to mess up.
So the callouts, I will go through the callouts for what I do. Because options trading is a little bit different. And I am also going to ask that you guys go, and if you're on Robinhood, make sure that you guys go on YouTube, because I can't find a way to get my phone recorded like that, otherwise I would. But there's a lot of really good YouTube videos on how to get set up for options trading on Robinhood. But I also am going to say, if your account, like if you don't have much money in your account, stick to what Carter's doing right now. And then when you do build up enough to where you're not over leveraging by getting in any plays that I'm calling out, definitely start taking the plays that I call out. But yeah, so in here I kind of just talk about the moves that I'm making. You know, I talked about, here's my analysis on Ford. So, you know, I took my first big L today, even though if I would have sold it open, it would have been up about 30%, but I held. And then the results. So currently right now, here's how we're doing. You know, first one we called out was 10% gain, then 150%. I don't count the 650% Apple call out because I did not personally get in it. Doge went down 3.5%, and it got so close to hit my TP for hit my stop loss for a tank. Another Apple call out went up 65%. Smith & Wesson went up about 500% by the time I got out of it. It is currently up about 750% right now, though. The Apple puts, if I sold it open, yeah, it would have went up 20, but I held and it went down 30. There was a reason that I held and I put it inside there as well, but I did call out partial profits. Then Oracle went up 45 to 50%, and then when I said to close it, it was down to about 30%. So that's kind of how you get through everything on the Discord, and that's kind of what everything is about.
Alex is crying with happiness right now.
What?
Alex is crying with happiness right now. He's tearing up.
Love to see it. So that's kind of how you get around the Discord. So, Adam, if you want to start taking through the basics that you were going to take them to.
For sure.
I bet. Actually, real quick, does anybody have any questions that we can answer right now? Can we join the Cord right now? We can join the Cord. Is that how the kids say it?
How old are you, bro? Like 30? Get a life. Jeez.
It's probably good that I didn't put it on the screen. But... Yep, you can join the Discord right there. I just put it into our chat.
Sam already got his ass.
Is there going to be a VC chat?
What? What's up?
2K?
2K sucks, bro.
2K does suck. Voice channel. I don't think so. Just because I can see that getting kind of sticky. I can see some people being stupid. So I don't think that we're gonna do that, but who knows? We might set up a sub one eventually and kind of have like a little voice chat going on. Yeah, Adam, do you want to take it away?
For sure. Can I share my screen?
Apparently.
RQ.
Here, I'll just make you host now. Now you can.
Cool. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to show you guys the callouts that I am like still crying about, like still in tears right now. Bro, I'm pretty sure I lost all my markings, but there's a Bitcoin YouTube video that I made on the YouTube channel so far, and it's pretty OD. Like, there's just gonna be a bunch of setups that I go through, and you're gonna be like, "Whoa, I didn't like." You'll just understand it so much better. So yeah, this was that trade that I sniped on Bitcoin, or missed, I guess, by like literally like 5 pips. I got in like right, or tried to get in right here, barely missed it, and it flew up, came up into this zone, didn't even come back down. It just kept going up. I'm not even gonna look at where it's at right now because it's too sad. But there's gonna be a lot of like charts that I mark up and stuff like this. I have a bunch of screenshots, videos. What in the world is that? Anyways, let's get to the charts. This is the Euro J. I've been trading Euro JPY all week so far. That's all I've been trading, and a little bit of GJ low key. I think I hit a nice trade on GJ yesterday. Yeah, I had a really nice buy on GJ right there. In this zone, it invalidated a little bit, but like then I realized Or was it here? I don't remember, to be honest, but it was one of these gray zones. I'm not really going to get into that right now. Yep. Guys, this is Euro USD. You can ask Jacob. I literally, Jacob, you can confirm this. I literally told you, I showed you this chart before it happened. Said there's liquidity, and I have this zone marked up for this thing to come back into it like it's doing right now. So it's selling and then to push up and give us higher highs. All of these markups and stuff, all these trades were all just practice. So hold on, let me just look at something. And I hate myself. Of course. Why wouldn't it? Dude. So I missed this one by, let's see. Missed it by less than 2 pips. Nice. Great. Cool. So it's already 11 pips in profit. All good. Anyways, let's go to EuroJPY real quick. Disregard all this. Start training you guys some basics. And oh my gosh, dude. Holy smokes. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really, really, really proud of this trade. Because I actually had this marked up. Like, this black line was my refined entry. And look where price came. And look how far it went up. That's literally, okay, I'll get the exact time. That's 218 pips in less than 2 days. And these are all like how I got my entries in here. Even on the 1 minute, bro, I was like, I got like perfect schematics and shit. Just beautiful, man. Just beautiful. So let's go over some basics of smart money. All right. So first of all, the difference between smart money and the way, I used to trade is very simple. Okay. So retail traders are taught buy at the bottom, sell at the top. Buy at the bottom, sell at the top. Correct? Okay, perfect. Right? So this is also known when we have 2 touches at one spot as a support or a resistance. So the top is called the floor of the whatever they say, all right? Doesn't really matter. Basically, you have a support and resistance where people are funneling into buys and sells. So there's 2 type of orders. I guess there's 3, but in this case, we're just going to use 2. So there's obviously a market execution where it comes to the top, so people are buying. And if I'm buying this, I'm going to put my stop loss. If I was buying this right here to go down, I'm going to put my stop loss above the last high. So there's people's stop losses up here, right? Because a stop loss is like, let's say I have a short, okay, which is a sell. I'm going to put my stop loss right here. So if price goes above this point, it stops me out of the trade and I cut my losses. All right. And then I have my target. So if it comes to this point, then I take my profits. That's all that is. Same thing. If it was a long down here, I put my stop loss a little under the next high or low, just like that, something like that, right? And then there's also something called sell stops and buy stops, which is saying if price breaks this level, I want to keep buying it. So if price breaks this level right here, I want to get in for buys, okay? So now and the same thing for a sell. So now let's go over like why this is so powerful. If we have a support and resistance, we know there is liquidity. All liquidity is this is also known as a range, by the way. Consolidation doesn't really matter. Basically, there is liquidity at every swing high and low in the market. Every swing. there's liquidity. So there's people's sell stops, buy stops, whatever, stop losses, all in these areas. There's money, right? In these areas, people's money, retail traders. Like old me would be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get in for a buy right here. Like that's literally what it is, okay? So what do you think these banks are going to do? You think they're just going to buy and sell right when it gets to that zone? No, that's not. They have billions of dollars. Why would they do that, right? So let's say it comes back down to that zone, okay? What they're going to do is they're going to trick people into – so there's already a lot of money, right? There's so much money. And think about it this way. For them to profit, someone else has to lose, right? They have to profit off of people losing. So what they will do is they will put in some buys right here, right? Get people in for more. People are buying, funneling into buys, and then they'll drive price down, okay? Take out all of this liquidity, and then continue up. And once we see that continuation, we leave something behind called a demand zone. So now this liquidity, or all these orders, have just been absolutely demolished. Everyone lost money, whoever got into buys right here. Okay? So now we understand that since the big institutions had to sell so hard to make that manipulation happen, right? They're actually in negative billions of dollars. Because if you think about it, they sold to trigger all these sell stops. So people who got in for sells after it broke this level and stop losses were all stopped out. But since they're selling, they bought up against their own sells. So now they're negative billions of dollars. Okay? So what they have to do is they have to come back and mitigate these orders, also known as just come back and fill those orders to break even before they can keep going higher. Okay? So what they're going to do is they're going to come back most of the time and mitigate either the open or the 50% or all of it. And then move higher, leaving behind what? Okay, now there was liquidity up here. It was taken out. What was the last down move? Right here. This is where the demand zone is. Okay? And there's no reason for them to stress about leaving behind these billions of dollars because they know they can just drive the market back down, take it, and then, on a smaller time frame, leaving behind supply zones, they'll come back up, take that, come back down, mitigate, drive through, take out the liquidity that they built on the top side. While they were doing that, the market is just constantly building up liquidity and taking it out, building up liquidity, taking it out. That's all it's doing. So let's look at what happened. Let's look at how I found this trade setup, okay? So first of all, I just realized, you know what? I really like how Euro JPY is moving. It's very bullish right now. If I even go to the 1 month chart, I can see the first thing I notice is we have built up a ton of liquidity on this trend line right here. So there's people, actually it wouldn't be right there, it would be right here. There's people getting in for sells at the top, right? So there's money up here to be taken out, which means, and since we have a break of structure back here, we had a low. We're just going to look at the main structure points. We have a high, swing low, broke structure, created a higher low, built up liquidity. What do you think price is going to do in the long term? Move up, take out all of this liquidity. Okay, that's what I'm expected. And until otherwise, that's how I'm going to be trading. It's that simple. It's really not too complicated. So now, since I understand price wants to move up in the long run, let's go down to the weekly. First of all, do you guys have any questions? Really quick.
I have a question.
What?
When are you getting done?
Soon. All right. So if we come down, we notice that what we saw was, first of all, we actually just mitigated this supply zone up here. What we did is we came up, mitigated it, right? So now they're breaking even on the buys that they bought up to then sell to take out all of this liquidity. Took it out, came back down to mitigate these areas. Okay, now it's pushing up. It's mitigating, breaking even, and now I'm thinking we're going to push up and liquidate, but we have to confirm that. So now we're going to go down to the 4 hour, since we understand this is a bullish market still, but we have to be aware that it did hit a weekly supply zone, so the market could easily turn around, okay? So that's why I have these supply zones drawn up, but we're going to go over that in a second. So what we can see is the last down move. So we have these swings putting into place, then we have a down move, and then a big push up, okay? This is the area before taking out all of these highs that are now X'd out. We created liquidity, took it out, left behind unmitigated zones that have not been filled yet. And then I went down and refined it all the way to the 15-minute time frame and found this very last down move. You know what? We can even go back to the 5-minute. That's how far I refined this. So I got to come all the way over here really quick. Why is it doing this? Hold on. We're just going to do it this way. 5-minute. Cool. All right, perfect. So this is how far I refined it, okay? Let's exit out of this. Perfect. All right. So we have this overall down move. On a higher time frame, this is one candle. This overall down move, and then we have the 50% of it is around here, correct? Okay, and that's the last move before taking out all these highs. We created new highs, we took it out, took this high out, and these highs, all of those highs were taken out, generated from this move. And the reason I didn't use this one down here is because, first of all, this is overall part of an even bigger supply zone right here. And after this was validated, after it broke through, this is now validated to be a supply zone. It came back, mitigated some of it, but left 50% of it behind. So what did we get? If we take 50%, probably around here, and then probably 50% of this, and then we refine it to the last down candle, which is right here. We had this last push down before taking out liquidity. And then I used the quarter theory, and I said a psychological number is 25. And then we also have a few inefficiencies through here, okay? So I put the line at the 25. It's not this one, it's this one. And I don't know why it says 26. So I had it at 130.025 was my refined entry point that I wanted to look for. And what I'm going to look for, okay, to confirm that this price is going to hold, I'm going to wait for price to come down and give me some kind of schematic confirmation, something that looks like this. So let's go back and let's look at what happened when price started to enter this zone. So as you can see, this is a refined entry. We have our first change of character. So first of all, we have the big push down, preliminary support, okay? And we have another push. We have our selling climax. We have our AR, automatic rally, ST, that test these demand zones in here to push up, okay, creating more liquidity on the top, push down, taking out this liquidity, right? Leaving behind what? More demand zones down here, comes down, takes that out, which is our ST and B, creating more liquidity, takes it out, hits that spot almost exactly perfectly, comes up, and gives us some possible entries that never got tapped, which is okay. And then it breaks this demand zone, leaving this down move behind. So now we can take 50% of that and refine it, which is 50% of this. This is this is the entry I really wanted it to hit right here, entry 2. I really wanted it to hit there, but it didn't. It just broke through, came back, tapped the entry, gave us some kind of Wyckoff schematic in there, then moved up. And now I also had this marked up. I said, if it breaks this structure on a higher time frame, we can look for buys. So once it broke that structure, which was this high right here, this high, if this breaks, very good for buys. Breaks it, okay? Now I'm going to look for my zones, okay? So the first builds up liquidity, takes it out, leaves behind a demand zone, which is this gray zone, comes down, actually creates liquidity, mitigates it, creates supply zones up here, takes those out, builds liquidity, takes all of that liquidity out, gives us a Wyckoff schematic right here to mitigate these demand zones back here, pushes up, takes out this liquidity, creates a new high, so now we're bullish, creates a new zone through here, comes back down with this wick to mitigate it, they break even, they take out, liquidate this demand zone, fill in some inefficiencies, still leaving some behind, create a new high, giving us even more confirmation that price is going to go up if it enters this zone. So now I drop down to the 5 minute to see what happens. Actually, I drop down to the 1 minute to see what happens when price reaches this zone. What do we see? We're going to look for some type of schematic. First thing we see the selling climax. Okay? Creating liquidity. We have the test of those demand zones, also known as the automatic rally, creating some kind of structure. We have the test of that selling climax, also known as the secondary test, and then we have it taken out with this wick with the ST and B, leaving behind supply zones, comes up to take that excuse me, comes up, takes it out. Oh, I need water. Comes out, takes it out, comes down, creates the spring into my area, and then it comes up and breaks structure. Once it breaks structure, we see a shift of weak hands to strong hands. So you have this down move, and then it breaks structure, creating this down move right here. And then it breaks structure again, okay? And this is where you want to enter, right there. You get in for the trade right when it taps that, and notice how it actually touched into a demand zone right there. This is the last point of support. You're going to learn about all this in depth on the course, and then it just absolutely skyrocketed. And you could have made a lot of money catching moves on the upside of that too. Same thing right here. Let's just look at an example of what I was talking about. So you look for liquidation of it, continuation, leaving behind demand zones, comes back to mitigate, then continue. What happened right here? We have buys, sells, liquidation, taking out all this liquidity, huge push up, leaving behind what? Demand zones. Price comes back in to that area. Price comes back into that area. Oh, first it actually tests these supply zones. So it leaves it, liquidates this, comes back up, tests that to come back down. So it buys to sell to buy, gives us some kind of schematic on a very low time frame, mitigating those orders. And then what does it do? Pushes up, right? Creates more liquidity to be taken out to mitigate these orders, to then take out that liquidity to leave behind this demand zone, And we're actually seeing right now it testing, okay? So, but it actually just invalidated. So now we have a break of structure, and we're good to look for sells. So now this is the last supply zone that we can look for. So if price comes back up into this area, we can look for sells because all of this is mitigated except up here. So that's how smart money works. And then if we understand on a higher time frame, okay, that price is probably building up liquidity on the bottom side to take this out to come back to either these demand zones, and then move higher, or to come into these. So what I'm going to look for personally is I'm going to look for buys up into these areas that I have marked up, these gray zones, and I'm going to look for some sort of distribution to take place, and then I'll get in for sells, and then I'll look for buys. But overall, I'm bullish on Euro JPY. So that's all I'm going to be trading for the next few weeks. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something. But yeah, bro, it's lit. I'm excited to teach you guys. Like, it's absolutely crazy how powerful these concepts are, and how much money that we could actually make together. So yeah, Jacob, that's all I got tonight. So awesome. You guys can unmute yourself as well. Can you? So I'm gonna call Jacob. Zooms every day. Probably not. Mostly just there's gonna be a lot of videos in the Discord for you to watch and learn about everything that I was just talking about. What's up?
What's good, bro?
Are you on the Zoom?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I was just gonna say, that's it. I'm done.
Oh, you want me?
So if you, yeah. But yeah, bro.
And he smoothly comes back. Zooms every day. Eventually we want to just transition this entire thing over to YouTube. That way, I mean, if we transition this all over to YouTube, it works out perfectly for us. Just because, like, you know, it just be a hell of a lot easier to get our stuff off the ground and running and get everything out there. And also, it would just be easier because Zoom is not like the best way to do this, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there any other questions, guys? Adam, you want to... Actually, I'm just going to come post. I'm just going to ask everybody on mute and see if anybody has any questions.
It's gonna be a journey, but it's gonna be lit.
So a little bit of homework, I guess I could say for you guys is...
I actually gotta go, Jacob, so I will talk to you guys later.
I'm just going to throw one link out there for the people who are still in here who want to learn how to options trade. There we go. This dude looks like a good dude, right?
Forget what you thought you knew about options and listen to the next 30 seconds of this video. My name's Scott Bauer, and I'm working to perfect.
I don't want to listen to that. All right. So if you guys want to click on that link and learn how to get your options set up on Robinhood, that would